My name is Dave Toller. I'm on the Sample Squaw Tribal Council, and I also sit as Vice Chair in the KDLC, the Kumeyaay Land Conservancy. I would like to start out by complimenting and giving credit to the tribes that have been involved. As members, we have Campo, La Posta, Manzanita, Pamul, Santa Isabel, Mesa Grande, Sample Squaw, Sequan, and we have Viejas. I'd like to give special thanks to those tribes.
My name is Sue Wade. I'm the Associate State Archaeologist, State of California, California State Parks. And my district is the Colorado Desert District. It includes Cuyamaca Rancho State Park. And from what we as archaeologists know, there have been Native people here for at least 10,000 years. And as the Kumeyaay people would tell you, since time immemorial. This particular corner of the village site had become a horse camp in the 1950s, and because it was a wonderful place for people to live, as the equestrian groups started using the park, they realized that they wanted to stay here too. And over the years they had expanded and moved, and facilities had been put together, bathrooms, camping pullouts, picnic tables, fire rings, everything that you would expect to see in a campground had been improved in this area, as well as this an asphalt access road, which we're actually sitting on right now.
I am Carmen Lucas. I'm a Cuyamaca Indian. For a lot of years I've been a Native American monitor, and I've helped archaeologists survey things, and many of the archaeologists for Anza Borrego State Parks and Cuyamaca State Parks would ask me to come look at horse camp. The state parks had done an interesting thing. They surveyed a lot of their property and recognized the prehistory here, so they developed a preserve, a cultural preserve, and unfortunately where this road is was their line. It was because the horse camp was already in existence. So theoretically the preserve should have come into the horse camp, but because the horse camp was already established, they drew the line there.
This village of Aha Cuyamaca, it's been known that it's been a very important place by archaeologists in the state park system. And when I first came here, there was pieces of it that were documented, but it really needed a better record because there were so many activities that were happening here, and we really didn't know how to manage them because we really didn't know where the heart areas of the site were.
I got to see a lot of the Cuyamaca in how the prehistory lays, and it's clear to me that it was truly a heartbeat. It's not just the horse camp, it's all of Cuyamaca and all the canyons as they go down to the lower elevations, whether it be Descanso or Ramona or the Oriflame or over to Laguna. All of that, it's all part of the network.
We embarked on an effort to do what we call a site record form for this site, and it took us about a year and a half to actually go to all the different locations, record the bedrock milling features, document the artifacts, and we were hindered by this incredible overgrowth of vegetation. And we were about 2/3 complete when the Cedar Fire came in 2003.
Once the 2003 fires came through here and destroyed the items that were here, the state has a responsibility to revamp and to reanalyze the best use for this site. And through the evaluation, this would be best to restore.
So immediately as FEMA funding and other funding sources were being sought after, people started focusing on this campground, to rebuild this campground, to kind of get that rebuild effort started. And I really realized, and some others of us in the state park, as well as some people in the Kumeyaay community, that if we were ever going to not put this campground back here on top of this village site, this was the time to do it. The fire had removed it, and while in the past it was really difficult to conceive of removing a facility, the fire had done that for us, and it was really inappropriate for us to put it back.
As more of the Kumeyaay tribes got involved, KDLC took the lead, and as the project got into a funding aspect, we were able to do a restoration project. And so the restoration included removing all of the corrals and all of the infrastructure that was on this approximately 55-acre village site.
Once the contract, once we all agreed that yes, we could do this, then for San Pasqual to step up to the plate and actually do what I'm calling the deconstruction work to remove all these facilities. So we worked together to put together the scope of work. It wasn't something that State Parks dreamed up and said, this is what we want done. We actually worked with the KDLC and cooperatively came up with that scope of work. We included monitors. My archaeologist that works for me was here almost all the time and took photographs and documented the whole removal process. And so it's been over about the last 4 weeks now that we've worked together, State Parks and the Kumeyaay community, all the tribes represented by KDLC. It's phenomenal to me how removing all the debris and the trash and the broken corrals, how it's changed the entire complexion of the site. It's changed the entire ambiance of the site.
In so many ways, the Kumeyaay was an oral history. And the oral history, in a lot of ways, has been lost and maybe not carried through as the way it was. And to be able to put these together to make this site very historical and important to the people today, and for those in the future, the ones that are young now, going to be able to come up here and see that the descendants of the Kumeyays during this area showed an interest and carried their responsibility to do what we could to protect this site.
What happens next? And that's the next part of this project, that there's actually still some funding to support some equipment or whatever it's going to take. We talked about maybe a signboard that acknowledges the unique history of this place, that's not only been important to Kumeyaay people, but also was important to other groups through history that came here, and not the least of which are the equestrians. That, you know, this was really an important place to them. I think it's just so exciting that, you know, where we are right now is, okay, what happens next here? With this incredibly important place to Kumeyaay people in the past, where it was a place where the tribes gathered. I think they came here, I mean, the artifacts tell us that they came here from the desert, from the coast, from the north, from the south. They gathered here by the hundreds, if not thousands, in the acorn harvest time, and such an incredibly electric place. And now, in our time, it's a place that's brought all of us back together again, and it just has this incredible future.
I don't think that we should be going and living in the past. I think we all need to understand how to survive and understand that we are all given intuitive knowledge and an awareness of our environment. So I think it's important that we stay in tune with that. So a place such as this can help embrace that, and if State Parks develops a good educational program with the Kumeyaay Land Conservancy, I think maybe society collectively from all over the world, because you have world travelers who come here as well, could learn something from that.